What is something everyone should know how to do at age 30? Have a hobby that doesn't make life miserable and can help balance out work-life stress, if any. Have a hobby that doesn't make life miserable. Looks at Warhammer minis and painting kits, but it's fun, right? You're goddamn right it's fun. Except the budgeting part. That part hurts. As an MTG player, at least we don't have money to spend on drugs. As an MTG player, we manage to do both. I started quilting about a year and a half ago. It has helped improve my life so much, and as a bonus I am so much warmer. I thought this said quitting at first and was just like, well, yup. That's one way to deal with work stress. Be okay with being by themselves. Many people keep toxic friendships or relationships going since they are afraid of being alone. Communicate. It's not fun or easy having difficult conversations with people. But it's definitely the better option, and it does get easier with practice. Gets way easier actually. There are so many things that would have snowballed into fights with my girlfriend when I was 20 that are easily handled now because I know how to communicate productively. Accept responsibility for their mistakes. And apologize properly. It's so simple and will save you and the person you've hurt so much extra suffering if you can be accountable. I realize I did X behavior, and that had X and Y effects on you, meant you had to do X when you shouldn't have. I'm so sorry I made you feel this and hear what I'm doing to make it better and how I will make sure it doesn't happen again. I'm sorry if you feel that way is not an apology. Anything with the words but or if isn't an apology. Edit to add. Apologies steps for me include owning up to exactly what you are apologizing for, acknowledging the effect that has had on the other person, explaining what you will do to make sure it doesn't happen again, fix the damages done, follow through on any continuing actions that might be required, including genuine change of behavior. Important to note that even the best apologies don't entitle anyone to forgiveness. If you do not want to accept an apology, you can just say thank you for saying that, I know that was hard. That also works for accepting them too. Saying no problem or it's okay excuses the behavior, which we don't want to do. Also, if it has been a big or ongoing thing you are apologizing for, like abuse, then the apology comes at the end of a huge journey to recognize and address the abusive behavior. By the time you can give a genuine apology, you've grown out of the person who could do that. How to avoid scams. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You get a job on Craigslist and someone sends you a check to buy work tools, but sent you too much, and now you have to MoneyGram $3,000 back to them. Yeah, that's a scam, and your bank isn't going to reimburse you for a bad check you deposited and spent the funds from. Also, if it sounds too bad to be true, your power will be shut off in 30 minutes if you don't pay now. Yes. If someone calls and says your child, grandchild, niece is in jail and needs bail money via MoneyGram, please call said relative and confirm their whereabouts before heading to Walmart. Yes. Even if they tell you there is a gag order, call anyway. This happened to a friend's grandfather. They sent one payment and then was about to send another when a bank teller basically forced him to call the grandson. He was shocked he was not in jail or in any trouble. If there's a gag order, you can be sure as hell there won't be any bail either. How to identify health concerns and be proactive regarding health risks they are predisposed to. I just go to WebMD and end up with a terminal cancer self-diagnosis. No need to go to the doc if I'm already dead dying. Seriously. I've been convinced I had rabies twice. I live in the suburbs. Talk to new people without seeming hostile or easily defensive. Some people I know really struggle with this, and if they don't learn to adapt, that will be one hard life. It's very nice to fucking meet you, pal. Okay, shake my hand now. I think a better word for it is feeling threatened. Social anxiety gets compounded by the fact that you genuinely see strangers as threatening. You try to suppress and deny it, but underlying emotions have a way of coming out in other ways. It's a major battle to overcome, but it's well worth the effort. I still have a long way to go to completely overcome social anxiety, but I've come a long way from how I used to be. Laundry. It amazes me how many grown-ass adults still rely on their parents to do their laundry. Learning how to do it while still in grade school goes a long way. Edit. One word. I had an ex pushing 30 whose mom would come to pick up his laundry. Note, he lived on his own, she just came over randomly to get his laundry. My wife's ex-husband still relies on his parents for most everything. They buy his cars, pay his rent, etc. He's 48, I think. She stared at him silent beside the machine. I'm sorry, I don't think I get what you mean. There isn't a trick, and this isn't a con you put in your clothes and you just turn it on. Basic personal accounting, cook, lay eggs, what to if there is a fire. Basic life skills, scrow. Yes, ye wait, what? Yeah, why the hell should humans ever have to know what to do if there is a fire? But how do I lay eggs? Asking for a friend, male age 25. Start with a bottle of wine and some romantic music. Take a deep breath when they are upset or angry and realize that other people have entire worlds too, and we probably have no idea what most of them are carrying. Guy that cut you off in traffic? Going to see his dying dad. Crabby waitress? She has a 3-month-old and doesn't get much sleep, but she has to go to work to keep food on the table. Edit. That doesn't excuse you for being a jerk. You are responsible for you. Sometimes, though, life is a shit show and people don't have time to process or deal. There is a saying, take people in crisis seriously, not personally. I like this comment. Thank you, I needed this. Did someone just cut you off in traffic? Act like a decent human being to retail employees. Edit. And to other people in general. Also, try not to forget how when you hit 40. I swear everyone should work retail for at least a year. I spent a couple years in high school working at a grocery store. My god, people can be assholes for no reason. I would never disrespect anyone, especially retail workers. Their jobs are hard enough. I have often said this and I completely agree. I find myself very quickly losing respect for people who are rude towards service staff. You're not standing up for yourself or demanding better service, you're being rude to someone who will lose their livelihood if they fight back. That's pathetic. The mark of someone's character is how they treat a person they have power over. Drink responsibly. Or if you can't drink responsibly, learn not to drink. That as well. I don't drink at all anymore. Use a turn signal. If you are already turning when you turn your signal on, you are doing it wrong. 100 feet before you turn or change lanes at least. At least 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Exactly. Turn signal operation should be a function of time, not so much distance. Also, if you signal too soon, someone could think you're making a different turn than the one you intend to make, depending on the intersection, and that's not a good thing. Relatedly, people cannot always immediately react to your turn signal, and sometimes the right move is for the other person to speed up to make room for you. If you think you're always getting boxed out by other drivers for signaling your lane changes, you're probably waiting too long to start getting over. Depending on the traffic on the freeway, I start getting over to the right a mile ahead, light traffic, or 2 miles ahead, heavier traffic, to make my exit.